Damien Season 1 finale of Satani. I really love this finale. I think this was a really crazy way to end the first season. I mean, just like the last, honestly, like the last, what, I think the last 3 minutes, I think it was only 3 to 5 minutes, it was just absolutely insane. I mean, it just really went crazy. I'm like, they killed, once Simone got shot in the head, I was like, they killed everybody. Like, all the main characters pretty much have just been killed off, all the good guys at least. So, Greta's been shot and killed, possibly, because I couldn't tell if that was her. I believe it was her hand because Amani had the jacket on. So I would assume that that was Greta that came out of the grave. So I guess that means she's alive somehow. I don't know how, but they did kill Amani, which really sucks. I was very surprised that that happened. And Inmate Lyons, like, a super dark character because he's like, well, we found your mom and stuff, and if you don't put her in this grave, we'll kill your mother. And then he does it, and then he just shoots him. And I thought they were going to leave them. I was like, okay, they could be left alive because they just dropped him in, a 6-foot grave. So I was like, they could just leave them because they're both wounded. Like, she was stabbed, he was shot. They could just leave them. It's like, it's easy that they could die, but they could also possibly survive. And then they started to actually bury them, and I was like, oh, that's pretty much it for both of them. But someone came out of that grave. I would assume it was Greta, based on the skin color and stuff as well. So I'm pretty sure that was Greta. But it was crazy. I was very surprised that they did that. They're both in the grave. So Amani, I would assume, is officially dead. We have Anne kind of getting a revenge a bit on Greta because she's upset that she lost her daughter. So like the scene where Greta's like talking to her and stuff, and it's really calm, and she's like right up on her, and then she just like grabs her wound and stuff, and it was just really intense. Damien is full on dark in this episode, which is what I wanted from the beginning of the series, and it was crazy to watch. It was fun to watch, that's for sure, because he was using his powers left and right, and I was like, I love seeing this. This is nuts. And they have, when Lyons first shows up and he has all these people with the guns on him, and he's like, I'm not gonna go with you. He's like, kill her, take him. And Damien just has everybody kill each other. I was like, that's freaking nuts. And then they take the car from the random woman in the road. And then at first she's freaked out, and then she sees Damien, who seemingly isn't even in control of his darkness. Like, at some points it's clear that he is, like, in the very beginning he definitely was, and at the end as well with Lyons when he like just summons the dogs on him, which I thought was very cool. But during that scene, it was like she just got out of the car. It was just like she saw him and was turned like that, and she's gonna jump off the bridge. I'm like, why is she even trying to kill herself? And excuse me, Simone has to like slap her in the face and stop her. So I don't know if she ended up doing it or not, but it seemed like she was kind of back to normal after Simone like slapped some sense into her. But there were a ton of people at the end, and it's just a bunch of random people who are just now kind of succumbed to the darkness. Shay just had the craziest freaking episode ever. I mean, he's going through, and he thinks he hit his son. He's like, he sees the son on a swing, which I'm assuming they actually set that up in the middle of the road, because I didn't even think about it until just now. But that swing set was just like on the side of the road. There's nothing else around. It's just open fields. So that was creepy in its own right, but it looked cool. And it's like he sees his son, and then it's like, oh crap, I just hit my son. And I like the scene how they had that from a really high angle, like they put like a dummy in front of the car, and it just like flew off the road. I'm like, Jesus, he's all messed up, and he thinks he hit his son. He's not even thinking. It's just like, it's my son in the middle of the road for some reason. I just hit him, even though I drove past him, seeing him on the swing. Suddenly he's in front of me. He's just so messed up. He wasn't even thinking straight, and then he gets out. He's gone. And I love how they did it with the swing, and it's still swinging at like full speed and stuff, and as he drives. And so the swing is like in view, and there's nothing on it, and then it goes back, and when it comes back, we see the girl again. I was like, that was a great way to do that. It just looked really cool. Like, they had it go out, it came back, they grabbed it, and they had her sit down, and then she swings, and I was like, that was actually really cool. That was a great way to do that. And then when they did the big view again, she wasn't on there, and it's just swinging back and forth. I was like, that visually is just really creepy, and it was really well done. It was a great scene. But he's just, like, he's losing his mind, and I was thinking, and I mentioned before, like, I hope they don't kill him off, because I think he could get darker, or, just get crazier. They could kind of kill him off mentally. Like, he could truly just go insane from everything that happens. And I don't know if he will, because now he's officially seen it, but when he shot Simone, which, like I said, in itself, I was like, holy crap, they just killed Simone, and like they killed Amani and Simone, so it's literally just Damien on his own, and the people trying to manipulate him, which had me really worried. But when he shot her and then she came back after Damien like just instantly knows how to do it, and he's speaking a different language and the blood drips off of him and it falls into the crack, into the wound, and she just gets right back up. He just drops his gun. Like his face was like exactly what I was thinking, because when the blood dropped, I was like, she's not about to come back to life, and she pops up. It was so crazy. I just laughed a little. I was like, holy crap! They killed her, and then they pulled a resurrection, and his face, I was just like, exactly. Like, that's how I feel. I don't know what to think right now. It's just insane what's happening. But I love the way they ended it. I don't know what they're going to do with Shay. I mean, he's officially seen it now. And Damien has killed Lyons off. I would assume he killed him off. I mean, it seemed like he didn't actually stop anything. So the dogs kind of got rid of him once he learned that, he killed Amani. So, killed him off, and still there. I bet she's super freaking happy now. I mean, she's lost her daughter, but it's like, oh, got him out of the way, and now it's just me and Damien. So, she had, like, the dogs at her feet and stuff like that, which was a great scene. When he's doing, like, the blood dripping down. But it was just really cool. It was a great last couple of minutes. I think the whole episode I really enjoyed, because it was very tense, and, the stuff with Amani happened, you know, really early on, actually, stuff with both Amani and Greta. And so Greta had her scene with Anne, and how that was going to play out, and how she wanted her to just suffer from the stab wound and die. They killed off all her friends early on. I was like, well, that's already like 5 people dead. So they did that early on, and then, dumping them both in the grave. That was 2 important characters, especially Amani, who'd been in there, in the show from episode 1. But really crazy. I don't know how they're going to do this stuff with Greta. I don't know if she's going to have powers or anything like that. I just don't know. I mean, obviously she is that sort of the head of sort of the kind of force against Damien and him becoming an evil entity, but she's gonna have backup, because finally in this episode the Vatican has realized things have gone crazy. It's out of control. And they were soon, honestly, they were packing up like they had a full-on army. They were getting in helicopters, and they had a bunch of duffel bags, which I doubt they had like guns and stuff in them. But that's what it was like. It was like an army suiting up. They had suitcases, or the metal briefcases and the duffel bags. I'm like, the Vatican, they finally have stepped up. They've armored up or whatever they got in all those crazy bags, and they're coming to the States. And I love that. I was like, they're finally doing it. So that's going to be season 2. We're going to have 2 really full armies, because Anne still has, I guess it was technically Lion's army, but they were both kind of in control a bit. So now she's going to have full control of that. If that truly was Greta, which I believe it was, like I said, from just the fact that the arm came out, Monty was in like a full jacket and stuff. So that's kind of my main thing, because I wasn't even really looking at the skin tone or anything like that, but it kind of looked like her to me. But just the fact that it was a full arm, because she had like her sleeves rolled up and stuff, if I remember right, or she had on the short sleeve shirt. But Amani had like a full on jacket on, so I assume that was her. But we're gonna have like 2 full armies going against each other. Greta, I don't know, coming back to life. Who knows? That might not even be good. That could be bad, considering exactly what happened in that grave in the last episode with all the demonic power and all that extra stuff. That could be a bad thing, that she's coming back to life. Who knows? But just the way they ended everything, I think, was really great. It was a great cliffhanger to just end. It was kind of like, it was somewhat a resolution, but not really. Like, it ended on like, the last episode kind of ended on a cliffhanger, because poof, Damien comes out, he stabs Greta, he's clearly like full evil. And then whole episode full evil. We have the woman from the first episode actually coming back officially in this episode, doing like the crazy spell on Simone where the bugs are flying out, and then she shows up at the very end, and that's kind of what prompts Damien to know how to do the spell, like the resurrection spell. And it was just crazy, like just everything they did. I think this was like a really good finale. It was a great finale. So I really, really hope that we get a season 2, because I would love to see where they take things with, the Vatican finally coming into play and actually stepping up and doing something. So we'll get to see, these 2 armies together, and Damien, I guess, kind of going full dark, or at least mostly dark. And when Simone came back, the first thing I thought was, is that even her at this point? Like, I mean, his blood drops and he resurrects her, but is it going to be her? Or is she going to now be under his sway because he used his own blood to bring her back to life? Is it really just Simone? Or is it going to be like a weird altered version, like when he was having his dream when he tried to kill himself? Is it going to be like that, where she's now oddly obsessed with him like everyone else is? Because she seemed like she was sort of outside of his area of effect. Even when she was like right next to him, she didn't seem to have anything that could control her because she'd always been on the other side of it trying to get answers. So it seems like she's impervious to kind of his effect, the effect of the darkness. But is she so impervious now that she's been resurrected using his blood? So it's one of those big questions. Who knows what's going to happen with Shay? Because, I mean, crazy moment. Like everyone's kneeling down and stuff, and his was obviously different. It was just like he's at the end of his rope, and it's just like he doesn't know what to do. He just drops to his knees, like, I don't even understand. Like, I knew it was crazy, but I shot a girl in the head, and then a drop of his blood brought her back to life, and all these random people are coming out. He summons dogs to kill a guy. You don't know where to go from there. That's just something that doesn't happen. So I don't know what they're gonna do with his character. What's gonna happen with Greta? If that was Greta, like I said, I'd probably have to go back, but I'm assuming it was Greta that came back. As much as I would love for Amani to come back, because he was one of the good guys. Like, he and Simone were like the two good people. I guess Greta has kind of taken his place, and like I said, who knows if that's good or bad. And the stuff with Simone being resurrected with Damien's blood, who knows if she's 100% gonna be herself anymore, in season 2. So I really can't wait to see how they play this. I don't know. I'm really curious what they're gonna do with Shay, because it's like they can't really make him crazy anymore. Like, he's officially seen it now. So I'm just curious where they're gonna take his character. But Damien's seemingly full dark by the end of things, and I'm just excited for the next season. I think it should be really fun. But of course, I definitely want to know what you guys thought about this finale. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts, and of course, gotta ask where you guys think they're gonna take season 2. If you want to get specific with each character, where are they gonna take certain characters? I would assume Anne is gonna kind of be the same. She might be happier next season because Lyons is gone, and Damien's kind of full of dark now, or much closer to being fully dark. So I'm sure she'll just be happier. It's really hard to guess with Shay, because it's like, is he gonna try to take off and prove it again with the cops and everything, or is he just gonna try to get his family to leave? Because we know he won't be able to do that even if he wanted to. So it's a little hard to guess with that. And Simone, like with all the characters, it's hard for me to guess where they'll take it, because it's so easy for it to be, Simone is normal, but at the same time, it's really easy for her to be evil, or at least under Damien's control, even if she's not evil. And with Greta, I would assume that that's good, that it was truly like God's power that brought her back to life. But who knows? She was in that grave, and there were dead bodies in there, and it's a supernatural based show. It could be all sorts of warped evil stuff, and it's not God. Maybe she thinks it's God, but it was actually Damien's power, or just demonic power in general. So it's really hard, because it could be either way with both those characters. And Shay, I'm just at a complete loss for him. I'm like, I don't know. I feel really bad for him, actually, but it's very enjoyable to watch. But it's like, man, he has the worst. He's having like the worst time right now. I mean, Amani and Greta were shot, stabbed, and tossed in a grave, but I don't know. That was pretty fast, and Shay's had a super slow burn on the insanity, so I just don't know where they're taking him. But I hope that we get a season 2. I think this show is, I mentioned this from my last review, I think it picked up, and it definitely had a great cliffhanger ending with a dark Damien. So I hope that's where we go in season 2. Regardless of where we go, I know it's going to be something crazy, but looking forward to season 2. I really, really hope we get it. But like I said, I definitely want to know what your expectations are in general, or for specific characters for season 2, and of course what you guys thought about this finale and really this first season in general, because obviously, like I said, I really think it picked up, and now I'm super excited. Like, if you asked me this the first couple episodes, I'd be like, meh, I'm curious to see where it goes, and they got where I wanted it to go. Like, they waited till the very end for him to go full dark, but it got darker and darker as it went on, and they made it work with the darkness around him. So I can't wait to see what they do with the season 2 if we get one, which obviously I really hope we do. But like I said, I definitely want to know your thoughts about it. So please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.